Last episode we got the manifold turbo downpipe, a few sensors installed, which leaves us a little bit of plumbing to do, reinstall the intake, and finally install the valve covers, which I have painted. Masked off the valve covers, give them a quick buzz, and sprayed a couple coats of primer. Gonna do one more coat and then leave them overnight, and then I'm gonna do the first coat of colour. Just mocked it up on the desk here and it looks pretty good. Now, I'm not a painter, so these aren't exactly perfect. There's a couple of runs on the other side and underneath, but realistically, once the cover's on and the breather lines are on and the manifold's in the way, it should look pretty good. It will look better than it was anyway, which was just unpainted. So, and then there's silver plate on top. Possibly look at getting a carbon one maybe at some point, but yeah, that is miles better than it was. I've got new gaskets for the valve covers, but people seem to add a little bit extra to the fronts and the rear, so gonna make sure that's done on these. This clip did actually have music over it when I uploaded it to TikTok, but I had to remove it because I'm uploading it to YouTube and I don't really want a copyright strike. But got the valve covers all sealed up. I'm just putting a bit of gasket maker on and dropping the valve covers into place. Wasn't too difficult, but I had to be careful because the paint was brand new. The curse of low storage hit as I was putting the valve covers on. Managed to kind of get a clip at the right one, but they're in place. I'm just going through putting the bolts in now, then get them nipped up. I'm going to quickly have a look what the torque specs are because I know these can crack quite easily, so I don't really want to over tighten them. So after a little struggle, I got the covers in, they're all torqued up, and I've just rested the top plate on top, and then the metal plate that goes on here, I've just got on the bench over there, soaking in some sticky stuff remover. So as well as this, because there's a few stickers and things like that that were on here, so I'm just going to try and clean it up, because obviously the whole bay is pretty dusty. And that looks clean, this doesn't look clean, that looks disgusting, so that's on the list to get sorted at some point. I think black to match the manifold, which will be quite nice, or polished, I don't know yet. But obviously the intercooler pipes, everything's a bit scabby, so this is a start. Kind of cleaned up okay. I mean, it didn't come off too well, but the plate's on. I've stuck my other breather line in. Now I'm going to get to plumbing the turbo, oil feed, oil return, and then these two water lines. So that is the water lines plumbed up, oil feed, oil return. So now we can install the intake pipe. I still have the MAF on for now. Until I swap the ECU out, I'll need to run this, which is annoying because it's ugly, but I mean, it works. Valve covers on, breathers on, intakes on, plugged in, O2 sensors plugged in, MAFs plugged in, blah, blah, blah. All plumbed up. Wastegate's missing and intercooler pipe's missing. I do need to get a hose that's long enough to go from the turbo housing to the wastegate. And I also need to block off all the excess ports on the wastegate. And then once they're on, that is, we're pretty much go time. I do need a new one of these, which should arrive tomorrow, as it's literally rock solid because it's so, look, probably snap it. Half of this snapped when I took it off, so got a new one of those on the way. Yeah, it's looking good. Happy with how it turned out. Very, very close. Not long at all.